Welcome back. Just Math, y'all. We are doing systems of linear and nonlinear inequalities. Systems of inequalities. Here we go. We got one more example. It's a big one. But this is a system of 4 linears. These are 4 lines. And if you're not familiar with graphing lines, or it's been a long time, feel free to contact me and get a tutoring session in. Okay, if you need a tutoring session, let's get one of those in. Okay, so we've got 4 lines here, and you're thinking, how do I know they're lines? Well, there's no squares. There's no powers. When you have no powers, then you know you're dealing with lines. Okay, and I've got my grid set up so that I'm doing by 2s, and I'm going to try to be neat. I noticed my others were kind of sloppy. So we're just going to go through each one and graph them and then shade. We're not going to shade, we're going to put little arrows. So the first one is 5x plus y is less than or equal to 10. A couple of different ways I can graph this one. But I'm going to go ahead and rewrite this in y equal format. So I'm going to subtract 5x on both sides. And that's going to give me a negative 5x plus 10. And the reason why I do this is it helps me with my graphing, my shading. So this is y is less than or equal. So now that it says y is less, I'm going to shade that way when I shade. Okay, so I'm going to graph my line. It's less than or equal, so I'm going to do a solid line. Less than or equal, so solid line, and I'm going to have a point at 0, 10. And some of you may remember slope, and graphing with slope. I don't need but 2 points. If I want to, I can put in another one. 0, 10, it's 1 point. I'm going to go ahead and graph it. And then a second point, if I plugged in, say, 1, then I'm going to get 5 for my other point. Okay, so 0, 10, and then 1, 5. I'm going to do 2. If I plug in 2, I'm going to get 0. So I'm going to do that one as well because I'm scaled. So 1, 5 is here. All right, so now this is going to be a solid line. So I'm going to try very hard to make it nice and neat. And so there's my line. Okay. Now, I've already know that this is going to be shaded downward, less than, when it's in Y. So I'm going to go ahead and put a little bitty arrow showing that I have to shade down. And you're thinking, that doesn't look down, that looks left. I know, but it is technically down. Okay, that's what makes this a little bit tricky. Okay, so now my next one I'm going to do is 4x minus y is less than or equal to negative 1. Okay, again, I'm going to rewrite it so that it says y. So I'm going to subtract 4x on both sides, just kind of like I did last time. But this time, it doesn't turn out quite the way I did before. I have a negative on that y, so I'm going to have to divide through by my negative 1 all the way down. And that's going to force a flip. If you don't remember that from inequalities, again, give me a holler and we will figure out all these little things that you may be like, I don't remember that. I don't remember that. I don't remember that. So give me a holler back so we can figure. So there it is. It's y is greater than. So this one is a y greater than or equal. So this is going to shade up, and it's also going to be solid. Okay, greater than is up. So again, I'm just going to need some points. When x is 0, y is going to be 1. If x is 2, y is going to be 9. Okay, so let's see if I can get those in. So 0, 1 is here. And then 2, 9 is right here. Okay, so I think 1, let's see, if x is 1, I get 5. So that's this intersection point here. So I'm going to put this one graphed. And this is solid as well. Okay, but this time I'm shading above the line. So I'm going to have a little arrow up. Okay. So there's that one. Okay, so now my third line is a vertical line. Now we have done vertical asymptotes, and I did mention to those earlier to you before that x greater than or equal to -6, x equal to -6 is a vertical line. We did vertical asymptotes, and we had x equal a number, and it was a vertical asymptote. Okay, but just in general, if you don't remember, all vertical lines are x equal a number. So this one is x equal -6, and that's a vertical line. So I'm going to put it in here. Whoa. Oh, goodness. Messed everything up, didn't it? Let's try to get that back to where it belongs. Okay, so x equal -6 is going to be here. Okay, and it's going to be a solid line. It is a solid line. Now this time it says greater than. So we're doing the x's that are greater. So x's that are greater, I'm going to shade to the right. So I'm going to put a little mark right here to shade to the right. Okay, and then I've got one more line, and it says y is less than or equal to 8. So y equal 8, that's a horizontal line. And y is less than, I'm going to shade down again. Y is less, I'm going to shade down. Okay, and this one is also a solid. So I have this line, and I'm shading down. Now, look very carefully. It's kind of hard to see. But my blue and my green, bringing out this little section here. And notice my pink and my black. Okay, this little piece right here, and actually I need to stretch my pink outline. Pink line out a little bit further. There, that's better. Because that line did keep going. It just didn't go all the way down to what I was doing. This right here is the whole section. Okay, that's the answer. Look carefully at my little shading. My first one was black. I did less than the black line. And so the black line is less, so that's into there. This piece right here, see, it's less there as well, but nothing else is pointing in that section. The pink, it was above the pink line. So there's all my above the pink line. Okay. The blue, it was to the right of the blue line. It was greater than, so that's all these are right here. They're all pointing into the same little section. And it was below the green, less than the green. And so that's how we end up with this one section. It's a little complicated. It's a whole lot easier on the MyLab. A whole lot easier. You don't have to come up with a bunch of points. You don't have a ton of work to show for the vertical and the horizontals. It's a lot easier on the MyLab. Trust me. Okay, just got to get in there. Now, to check, let's do a check. This doesn't have to be a long video, so let's check. Remember to check, you pick a point that you colored and you plug it in and see if it works. Okay, so if I'm going to pick a point that I colored, I'm going to pick a point right here in the middle. That's the point -2, 4. And so that's going to be my test point. So I'm going to check my answer. I'm going to test the point -2, 4. And it should be true on every single problem. So let's do the first one. If I plug a -2 in for x and a 4 in for y, do I get a number less than or equal to 10? I do. I have -10 plus 4, which is -6, which is in fact less than -10. So it checked the first one. All right, same point's got to check the other line. So if I plug it into the second one, all right, so I plug in -2 for the x and 4 for the y, I'm going to get -8 minus 4, which is in fact less than -1. So it checked for the second one. Okay. Now, how do I check these? Well, x only. So my x is -2. Is my x greater than or equal to -6? And yes, it is, because again, you're checking. My x was -2, and it is in fact greater than or equal to -6. So it checked for that one. And last but not least, check the 4. Is 4 less than or equal to 8? And it is. So it checked. My one test point checked all 4 conditions. And that's how you know that you shaded the right area. Okay? The testing of one single point that you shaded in all the equations should produce a true inequality. Okay. Good luck, guys. These questions are on your final exam. There's no specific test on these. We will be doing a presentation, so get ready. All right. Have a great day. It's just math, y'all.